Good morning or afternoon. So today we are going to be going over kind of more traditional notes, or that's why we had our line paper at the beginning. If you would like to take the geometry retake, then you are in the right place. So today we're going to be taking just some quick geometry notes. So we're going to title our paper. The biggest thing that we're going to use in geometry, if you remember, is our formulas. So I want to go ahead and list those out. The formulas that we are going to need to know, well, what we needed to know for the STAR test and that we're going to need to know for our retake is area of a triangle equals 1/2 base times height. And we cannot forget this 1/2 because it's super important. Area of a parallelogram equals base times height. So I'm using those same measurements, just the base and the height, but there's no 1/2 this time. The last one we're going to use is volume of a rectangular prism equals length times width times height, or big B times H. Remembering that big B is the area of the base. If you need to make sure that you have all this down, you can go ahead and pause the video here and take those notes as you need to. I'm going to do a couple quick practice problems for volume. If I had a shape sort of like a cube, so I'm drawing my shape. It's not great. I'm not a great artist. But I knew that this front measurement was 3. This side measurement going back is 5. And the height was 4. So we have a length of 3. Length equals 3. My width equals 5. And my height equals 4. I'm going to start every single one of these problems with my formula. So I'm starting with my formula of volume equals length times width times height. Then I'm filling in numbers. So I don't know my volume, so I'm going to leave that one as a variable. Volume equals, my length was 3, my width was 5, and my height was 4. Lastly, I get to solve. So volume equals 3 times 5. Okay. Solving this now like a GEMDAS problem, 3 times 5 would be 15 times 4. Volume equals 15 times 4 is 60 units cubed. I didn't have units here, like I didn't say if it was inches or feet, so to avoid a naked number, I'm just writing units. Alrighty. Do one more example problem. If I had a shape that wasn't quite normal, so if I had kind of an L shape, like this one, looking at that, I don't have a formula for L shapes. But what I can do is split it up into shape 1 and shape 2. We could say that the base of shape 2 is 6 inches. Its height was 3 inches. We could say the height of shape 1 was 3 inches, and maybe this length was 2 inches. Of course, in a test, you're not making up your own measurements here. Then we would solve, okay, well, what's my area of shape 1? So for shape 1, area equals base times height, still starting with my formula. Fill in my numbers. Area equals 2 times 3, so area equals 6 inches squared. For shape 2, I have area equals base times height. Area equals 6 times 3. So the area equaled 18 inches squared. Finally, I find the total. So shape 1 plus shape 2. And I would get 24 inches squared. Again, if you need to pause this to get all that down, you can pause at any point. Last thing we need to go over are some fun facts. So my last section here is just going to be fun facts. So if I took a parallelogram like this one, and I wanted to turn it into a rectangle, so I'm going from parallelogram to rectangle. All I have to do is cut this triangle right here. So this shaded part is going to get moved to right here and become this shaded part. So the triangle is moving to go from a parallelogram to a rectangle. Very last thing, I have a different parallelogram. And I cut it in half diagonally. So cut in half diagonally. It becomes two triangles. So I'd have like triangle 1 and triangle 2. Because of all of this, we can say that a triangle is 1/2 of a parallelogram. That's all for our notes today. You are more than welcome to come on up and grab your geometry retake. And as soon as you're done, I can start grading and change our grades and give you an update tomorrow on where you stand so that you can decide if you want to take your stats test or what you want to do. If you would like to take your statistics retake today as well, if you want to just knock them out in one day, that's totally fine. There is a separate video for statistics notes that you can watch and take before you do your statistics retake. Everything will be graded by the end of the week, so by Friday we'll know where we stand on our grades.